Yeah, good day guys, how you going? Hope you're having a good day. Joining me for breakfast today, which is not usually what I'm up to. Got myself some street side breakfast bowl. Got fried egg, an omelette, fish sauce, slice of Thai sausage. I'm actually not sure what that is. You're joining me here today because I wanted to share some stories. You know, the stories that truly made my trip in Thailand special, right? I should have put it on the rice, not the egg. Talking about the fish sauce. Now it's just gotta be all over the egg. What if I just... Ooh, it's fried rice. I've been to this place like 20 times already, and the guy always just speaks to me in Thai. Except every time he asks me for how much to pay, he says it in English. So he clearly knows I don't speak Thai. I don't know what's up with that. I've got about 2,000 gigabytes worth of footage from 2 months in Thailand. Okay? And I've got mountains, I've got beautiful riding footage, I've got old temples, new temples, all sizes and manners of temples as you want. But in a way, I don't think that's what makes travel special, especially if you're a solo traveler like me. And the thing that truly makes travel special is not the places, it's the people, right? The people you meet along the way, whether they be travelers like you or locals. However, generally speaking, I don't take footage of the people that I meet, and for the most part. That's because I think pushing a camera, and pretend I'm holding a selfie stick on, pushing a camera into someone's face while you're having a genuine heart-to-heart conversation is absolutely downright psychotic. So, I'm going to eat this. I'm going to tell you, oh, it's runny egg, yes. Yes. Good stuff. And tell you about all the stories that the camera never got to capture. So let me start from the beginning. Bangkok was my first stop. Here I met a Japanese-American man and his American wife who were traveling together and was planning to meet up with their sons and daughters down the line, actually in Chiang Mai. They might actually be here, I don't know. We took the orange ferry boat together and we spent like 20 minutes trying to work out the timetable together as well. They designated me their unofficial tour guide, which I was happy to do, but we were equally lost. It was pretty much blind leading the blind by all means. Unfortunately, I eventually lost them in the crowds at the Royal Palace and never got to meet up with them again. They made for great temporary conversation and companion, and they had a safe travel. Unfortunately, Bangkok was just so busy, like so much people. Similar problem as I'm having in Chiang Mai, that I didn't really get to connect with a lot of other people aside from that. Starting to believe this is an everything stir fry. There's sausage, broccoli, carrots, onions, chicken. Not complaining though. Then after Bangkok, mind you, I only stayed there for a week. I went to Sukhothai. I met a British lady at the historical park. She was an English teacher living in Korea, teaching at an American international school, taking a vacation in Thailand. Feeling a little isolated by this point, not having anyone I could speak English to. There wasn't a lot in Sukhothai. And she really helped me get through this, actually. This was kind of a common theme across my time in Thailand, that wasn't Chiang Mai and Bangkok, but Chiang Mai and Bangkok, in my opinion, has their own issues in regards to that. It's also here that I learned more about speaking Thai, as I had a lady at a night market attempt to teach me basic Thai counting. It's very lucky because there's actually a lot of overlap with Korean counting. So like 2 means E. Well, no, 2 is E in Korean and Thai, and 10 is 10 in Korean and Thai. So that actually made it quite easy for me to pick up. I'm actually not sure what prompted her, but I assume she was just getting frustrated at trying to communicate with me through a calculator. Though it was actually mostly her friend in the stall next door who had a incredibly outgoing energy. So thanks to those ladies, it has made my life significantly easier trying to navigate all the transactions after that point in my travels in Thailand. Just the fact that I don't have to use fingers to talk about prices is awesome. This is also the same time that I learned to love nighttime food stalls, right? At first I was pretty hesitant about eating on the street. You know, you sit on a tiny plastic chair on a fold-out steel table. It's rickety as heck. There's plastic covering it. The lady who's cooking it is cooking it outside. Like, you're just not sure that you want to be eating there. You know, that's considered my Western sensibilities, whatever the hell that's worth. The price to taste ratio at these things, right? They're awesome. It is through the roof. You pay like 30 to 40 bucks for a whole meal, entire meal, not part of a meal. And then you get the best tasting, I don't know, noodles with duck or sukhothai noodles or yen tau pho that you've ever had in your life. Likely the first one you've had in your life. I also learned how good khanom nok krata is here. It's one of my favorite Thai desserts of all time, I figured. Screw mango sticky rice. I don't care about that. No. Okay. Khanom nok krata is the dessert of the heavens. It is just the perfectly crispy, deep fried dough balls. Mind you, how I got to learn about it is a bit random because I was walking past a random stall. I was hands full of nighttime food I wanted to eat. And a lady basically grabbed me, forced a bag of it into my hand and said 20 baht. Actually, she said 20 baht, which means 20 baht. And I was kind of shook. So I hadn't experienced sort of that level of, let's call it outgoingness since I left Bangkok. I'm thankful for this lady because I learned what khanom nok krata is and that it exists. If you're Korean, it's kind of like chapsaitok without the sesame seeds on the outside. I actually think she just wanted to go home early because that was her second to last bag that she had left to sell. Since I was feeling quite encouraged, let's say, by the fact that I picked up counting so quickly, I also picked up some other basic phrases like for now, which means I'll have, and then you point at something on the menu, or if you know the words for your favorite dish like khao man gai or yen tau pho or tom yam goong, you say for now tom yam goong cup, and it means I'll have tom yam goong please. But generally speaking, you're probably just pointing at a menu item, and they're just happy for you to do that. They understand you don't speak Thai. Also, the other one will be the Hong Nam. I'm very confident I'm butchering all these Thai words, but Hong Nam means water room or the toilet. I suggest that if you're going to a place where you can't ask for the toilet with the English word toilet, and you have to use Hong Nam, then you carry your own toilet paper. I guarantee you there isn't any. From Sukhothai also, it's very central actually. It's a great place to do like outgoing road trips to neighboring provinces. But the one that particularly stood out to me, and it's not because it was beautiful or anything. I mean, sure, it had a really large night market that I would like to visit one day, and it's by the river, so I love me a good river. It had a cool bridge. Was Kampong Pat. The standout for me really was the Tom Yam Goong restaurant I visited. There was a granny and her daughter and the daughter's daughter working there. It was It was just so sweet. I don't mean the tom yum goong, just the atmosphere, the family atmosphere. The little girl brought me some water when she figured out that I was a farang, the Thai word for foreigners. This is before I understood the fact that you self-service for water and ice at most of the restaurants that's not in Bangkok. I'm sure that's the case in Bangkok. I just didn't visit these kind of restaurants at the time. She even tried to speak some English to me, I guess to practice her English. I don't know if it was appropriate or not, but she was so adorable that this is such an Asian thing, okay? That I told her to keep whatever change I had. She took my money for my payment, so she could buy something sweet at 7-Eleven. I don't know if I should share that story. I don't know if that's inappropriate, but I remember when I was a kid, like older people used to give me money just for being cute. I know you can't imagine it like this. Like I'd be in the subway with mom and like a granny, like a random granny I'd never fucking met before, will be like, "Oh, you're so adorable. Here, have some pocket money." That's how I felt. Am I just getting old? Holy shit, I think I'm just getting old. This is how getting old feels? Doing things old people did when you were younger? Oh, that's terrifying. Not to mention that was actually the best tom yum goong I've ever had. Genuinely the best tom yum goong I've ever had. I don't even want to eat tom yum goong in some of the other restaurants. I've had tom yum goong in another one, and it just tastes so bland and unbalanced. Like the taste it was so salty, No slight creaminess, no slight, yeah. I also took a day trip to Phitsanulok, where I met two men, Taiwanese men, actually. They spoke really good English, who was taking photos with an FX2 and a S5 II. If you know cameras, they're really cool cameras, especially the FX2. I'm a Sony guy, aside from all my DJI stuff. After I asked them how they liked the cameras, we chatted for a bit, and our mutual love of spending ungodly amounts of money on technology. And he told me a few places I should visit, actually. And I ended up visiting the crocodile pit in Phet due to his recommendation. So I really appreciate that. And in Sukhothai, continuing on that, I was meandering my way towards Old Town from New Town by foot, which I do not recommend doing. I will have a video on this, on my experience on this. Walked past some grannies and some kids playing on the side of the road, and the grandma and the grannies kept calling me like kun something, until they realized I was a foreigner. They're really nice. I actually ended up playing a little bit of Cat's Cradle, if you know what that is, Cat's Cradle with the kids. It's just so adorable. I love that experience. They realized I was foreigner, and they were still very nice to me, instead of being dismissive like a lot of people tend to be sort of in the big cities. And when I was leaving Sukhothai, the owner of the place I was staying at, the owner of the hotel Easy House, by the way, she learned, I don't know if she learned it or if this is just where she usually gets these for her guests, but I was there for 2 weeks, right? Quite a long time. She figured out, she got me some Chinese steamed buns from my favorite breakfast place before I had to leave for the bus in the morning. And this also, this almost made me tear up. It's just so kind of her. If I ever go back, I'm going right back there, and you know it. But from Sukhothai, I went to Phrae. A few other exciting run-ins with people. I asked, I saw a bike on the side of the road with a man standing next to it. And I stared at it for like a few minutes. And I worked out what it was. I finally worked out what it was. If you're not a bike person, you might not care about this, but it was a Honda Cub with a 2-stroke engine forced into the frame. It was such a thing of beauty. I just had to ask him if I could take a photo of it. And then we used Google Translate to have a short chat about our mutual love for bikes. He was a really cool guy. He said he did it himself. The engine came out of an old dirt bike that he used around the farm, and the Honda Cub frame came from a crashed bike he had recovered from a ditch along the side of his farm. Or so that's how Google Translate kind of worked it out for me. There's also a bakery there in Frey that I visited almost every day. 12 bahts for a slice of cake. Like at this point I figured out why I wasn't losing any weight despite doing 20,000 steps a day. It's because there's just so much damn good food to eat all the time. After the first few visits, he would see me crossing the road and he would have my stuff ready to go. The same stuff every day. I mean, I've tried a few other things the first time, but Mikan Bakery, their chocolate cake, which was more of a souffle. I'm not sure. It didn't have any eggs in it, so it can't be souffle, right? But it translated to, this baby has a soft face. It was a very soft pastry, so what a wild translation. And whenever I saw him on the weekends, he was always saying he spoke a little bit of English. He said he was very proud of his daughter who was helping out during the weekends instead of going out with her friend. This is also when I found my favorite Kanom Nok Krata place in the whole country. The ladies eventually just had a 10 bahts worth of it ready to go every night. Because for 2 weeks straight, I went there every friggin' day after dinner. They just knew I would show up. And on my last night there, I actually had to use Google Translate and tell them, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed your Kanom Nok Krata all this time. Today's my last day. Thank you. And of course, right next to them was a takoyaki place that always threw in 2 extra takoyaki bowls for me. I loved Frey so much. Small little provincial city, but people there were so amazing. In Frey, I also took a bit of a road trip out to a very countryside temple towards one of the borders to another province. And when I was walking back down from the temple, long staircase up to the temple from the parking lot, a Thai lady started just talking to me and stuff, and I kind of got shook, to be honest. She was just so confident. I had zero clue what she was trying to say. So I gave her the good old Mai Khao Jai, which means I don't understand. It's a relatively common phrase with Westerners to say to Thai people, to say, hey, I don't understand because I don't speak Thai. Well, that's the implication anyway. I think she must have thought I meant that I don't understand, I can't hear you. So she just repeated what she said to me previously, just loudly. And in the end, I had to go like Mai Thai. That's the best I could say. I'm not trying to say I wanted a cocktail from her. I was trying to say Mai, which means no, and Thai, which means, well, Thai. Eventually, her daughter stepped in, who was behind her a little bit back. And her daughter said to me, oh, my mom just wants help getting up the stairs. So I helped her get up the stairs. Such a funny thing. And then I told the daughter there's actually a driveway you can go up on the side to pick her mom up on the way down. But she really insisted on walking up those stairs. Hey, if that means something to her, if that means even the smallest thing to her, that she got to walk up those stairs, then that was worth 10 minutes of my time, absolutely. And lastly in Frey was this place that sold koi soy in Frey, which is kind of like on the side of the road, tucked away. I don't know how to explain this place. It was one of those places where you can tell it's been there for a long time. When I first got there, I didn't speak any Thai and the lady didn't speak any English. The customer coming out looked at me and just went, moo, moo. So I figured that she was asking for what kind of meat I wanted. So moo can mean pig in Thai, right? Moo krab means crispy pig. So I knew that. So I thought, oh, okay. So I'm gonna get noodles with crispy pig or pig. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm happy for that. I could do with pig. So turns out she was making cow noises, as in moo, cow noises. So I got noodles, curry noodles, by the way, with beef. And lastly is Chiang Mai, where I am now, actually. Can you hear that music from the school next door? I love it so much. Every day, same time. I'm fairly certain that's the school. That must be the music block, right? So I met some awesome people at my first accommodation in Chiang Mai. I did pull a bit of a Scottish accent, or the Tokyo Sayonara, but I don't really have much of a regret. Look, great conversations were had, and they were all really nice people to be talking to. And if you guys from the Cube ever see this, I hope you're all doing really well for yourselves. I just thought it was the right way to leave at the time. Old me would have clung on to these relationships, but I don't feel the need to do that this time. I can feel the travel's changed me a bit. In a sense, I feel kind of more isolated in Chiang Mai than I have felt in Sukhothai or Phrae. And this is despite the fact that more people here speak English than in both of those places combined. I feel that most Westerners in Chiang Mai already have like their groups and cliques. Could probably approach people and introduce myself and the like. It feels a little difficult here. Not to mention the fact that the influx of tourists mean that I don't think the locals are as open to talking or joking around with foreigners. They're probably sick of foreigners by now, most of them. Though it's here where I went up to the mountain village. Ooh, a squirrel. Hello, squirrel. Man, it's so weird seeing a squirrel. Well, we don't have squirrels in New Zealand, I don't think. But it's weird seeing squirrels go up power lines and stuff. Anyway, I went to a mountain village and I was walking down a dirt road because I wanted to go see coffee beans, right? You know, real life coffee beans before they're roasted and done all that. And two kids on an old Honda Wave came rocking down the road, and one of them takes a sensible dry route, and the other one goes plunging straight into a muddy rut. So I helped him pull the bike out of the rut, and then he tries to do it again. First of all, these kids are like 8 years old. They're too young to be on bikes. But okay, let's pretend that they're dirt bikes on private property. Whatever, right? Mind you, this was technically a public road. But my Western sensibilities aside, I can't believe he just went for it again. I mean, I admire his tenacity, let's call it resilience. But man, was it something else to see, because he looks so disappointed the second time around. It's like he expected to get through it, and the first time, he was so stuck, his front axle was covered up. Like, no way, buddy. Anyway, I pulled it out for him, you know, I helped him pull it out again. I pointed at the dry road and said, go here, you know? If I had that sense of adventure, my life might be a little bit more exciting, eh? In another part of the mountain, I was in a different village, and I had a bunch of kids come up and speak to me in Thai. They just went da 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 da. I was like, yeah, hello. And then a lady about a street down from where I was started yelling at the kids, saying, Farang, Farang. And the kids finally realized I didn't understand a single word of what they're saying. The lady was like, oh yeah, go English, English, pointing at me. It was just so cute. They're also dressed in like traditional clothing, which was kind of cool to see. I gotta say though, Chiang Mai has the best riding in all of Thailand. Thailand has a lot of flat, straight, long, straight roads. I mean, I guess if you like those, they're good in the central Thailand. Chiang Mai Samoang Loop, Mai Hong Son Loop, ride over to Pai, heck, even riding to Chiang Rai through the mountains. It's not half bad. Beautiful, beautiful riding. All nice and twisty. If I ever came back, I want to rent. Actually, I kind of want to rent a smaller bike and do them again. Did that with a 300 this time. I'd love to do it with like a 200. It's much more fun to ride a small bike fast than a big bike slow. I think that kind of wraps me up for my time in Thailand. I've had a hell of a lot of fun. I'll leave you with some tips and tricks I've picked up through my travels. So, first of all, I suggest you go to your local 7-Eleven. If you're in the city to start with, or Mr. DIY actually has a pretty good selection. Pick up a pack of baby wipes or antibacterial wipes and tissues and hand sanitizer. Small travel packs. They will save your life in rural Thailand. If you're going somewhere that's truly rural, get comfortable with squatting. If you don't know where I'm coming from, God bless you, you sweet summer child. You'll find out the hard way. If you're walking a lot like I do, I suggest that you buy some of these electrolyte drinks from 7-Eleven for about 20 bucks. They can be had and they taste good. They have electrolytes in them because you're going to sweat out literally everything you own. I have salt rings around my shirts at the end of the day. Salt is what keeps the water in your body, right? It actually retains the water. So without the salt, you might be drinking lots of water, but you're not going to retain it. And if you're doing long rides in Thailand, I'm probably going to have a whole another video on whether or not you should ride in Thailand. I suggest that you use those roadside stops because the heat can get to you. Even if you're riding and the wind's going past you, the heat can get to you pretty quickly. Don't try and fight the sun. You will definitely lose. Use those shades and rest. Don't ride tired. In terms of finding good places, I suggest you find places that has no air conditioning, has plastic plates and dishes, self-service water and ice, no tourists, but just a bunch of locals. You go to these places and you'll have the meal of your lifetime that you'll never forget. You'll quickly notice also that whatever town you're staying in, it doesn't matter what, every town has a street that at about 6 p.m., maybe 5, depending on the culture, it just turns into a buffet, right? All you can eat, all you can pay. You find it, you walk down it, and you will eat something that you don't recognize, and you'll cry tears of joy, my friend. And lastly, of course, is communication. You need to be able to talk to everybody. I'm sure everybody who comes to Thailand knows Sawadee Kap, Kokung Kap, hello, thank you. I suggest you also remember Formao and pointing at a menu item. If you just point at them, they'll know what you mean. And Tao Rai, which means how much. Hong Nam, toilet. Whatever you say to people, just add kap or ka at the end of a sentence and it's now polite. Say mai for no or mai kap for no thank you. Mai kao jai, I don't understand, or I don't speak Thai. And lastly, and most importantly, aroi. Very confident I'm butchering that one. That means delicious. You should let people know when they're doing a good job and compliment them, of course. I think also what I've realized a little too late is that more people in Thailand speak English than you think, even in sort of the rural areas. But the problem is likely that they can't understand your accent because they learn Thai from a Thai English teacher who learned They learn English from a Thai English teacher who learned from their Thai English teacher, right? So speak Tenglish. Slow down, just simplify your sentences, and if you can pick up on it, like listen to how Thai people speak, use Thai tonal patterns. There's certain consonants that they emphasize. Not going to be perfect, but likely you'll be more understood. You can always use Google Translate. But anyway, this video turned into a lot longer of a video than I thought. I'm now gonna finish my food. It's been like 40 minutes. But I hope you enjoyed my stories. If you come to Thailand, that you have stories like these that you can tell yourselves. Nonetheless, my friends, I hope you have a good day. I hope you take care of yourselves. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff. Cheers.
The angel who put their hand together that time for why to do respect and blessing to everyone who have a chance. The school will support all the students or the students to practice and present us such a great show. ในช่วงนี้สามารถเคลื่อนขบวนอย่างต่อเนื่องได้เลยนะครับและขบวนถัดไปขยับมา
หมายเลขเด็กพัฒนาโยธวาทิตอย่างต่อเนื่องทางกิจกรรมภาครัฐเอกชนปัจจุบันมีนักเรียนในวงโยธวาทิตรวม 90 คนร่วมกับวงโยธวาทิตโรงเรียน สำหรับกองทัพรักธรรมชาตินะคะรักษาที่ไทย
processions here and also to show that we are here guiding people.
ข้างหัวคิ้วนะครับครบต่างๆไม่แน่นอนแล้วก็งาน ไม่ต้องแม่ประดับ